Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Cherika Brown, of course, and y'all, this is my very first video of 2022. So thank y'all so much for subscribing, for liking, for sharing, and just tuning in and supporting me all throughout my journey. It's been over a year now since I've been doing Cherika Be Talking, and we still at it, y'all. Hopefully this year we get to grow together, grow as we go, and just become better people, better stewards, better friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, wives, husbands, cousins, sisters, brothers, whoever may be tuned in and wherever and however you're trying to grow. Hopefully this channel helps you. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Now, this topic today is not question based. It's more so like a discussion that I had with my friends. Constantly we're talking about how the dating scene present day is so different than what it was before. Me and my friend, we were having a conversation about, just how we notice a trend these days. We know a few people that are in happy and possibly healthy relationships. You can't really stamp it when you're not seeing what's going on behind closed doors. But we know a handful of people that are in like happy marriages or just relationships in general. But we notice that a lot of people that are in like boyfriend, girlfriend, off on relationships, a lot of people tend to settle. And a lot of single people have higher standards than those that are in relationships, are constantly in and out of relationships. And we were just talking about how people settle in relationships. So today we're on episode 17 of Cherika Be Talking, and today's topic is just on 5 signs that you may be settling in your relationship. Now, this isn't in any particular order. It's just 5 random thoughts that come to my mind. It's not the only signs, but it is 5 good signs, y'all. So let's go ahead. Sign number 1, you compromise in bad ways. And I say compromise in bad ways because there are good, healthy ways to compromise in a relationship. In fact, when 2 very different individuals are coming together as one, you have to find good ways to compromise, to find a middle ground so that you all can have healthy ways to communicate and just get along easier and make everything flow better in you all's relationship. In other words, this basically is tolerating things that you told yourself you would never like put up with, or convince yourself that certain things aren't that bad. Or it can constantly look like begging a person to change unhealthy relationship behaviors that as a grown-up they should know are not healthy, and it's toxic, or it's just misleading for you all to be in a relationship when they're doing certain things. I'll give you an example. If you feel like coming in the house past a certain hour is disrespectful when you're in a relationship, you bring it up to your partner, and this person continuously come in past that hour that you all discussed, that is a sign of blatant disrespect. Now, you could very well decide, okay, so I brought this to your attention at least 3 times and you're continuously doing it, so I'm going to leave. You choose not to settle. Or you can tell yourself, well, I'm just going to stay, but I'm going to keep complaining, and one day he'll change or she'll change and she'll come in his house on time. Or you can convince yourself that, well, this isn't that bad. I mean, I do have a friend that says sometimes her man doesn't come in the house for days at a time. Sometimes he don't come until sometimes the son beat him before he gets home. Like, you'll start comparing yourself to other people's relationships and situations when they're settling as well. So you'll start to make yourself think, well, this isn't that bad, and maybe I'm just doing too much, and this is what guys his age and our age do at this time in life, and yeah, maybe I'm just doing too much. I don't know, because I'm in a good situation. I shouldn't complain about something as simple as him coming in the house at 3 a.m. You'll start to like trick yourself and convince yourself that what you think and what you know in your spirit is not right, may be okay, and maybe you're just doing a little too much. Sign number 2, you lack healthy communication. Now, depending on the individuals in a relationship, this can show up in different types of ways. Some people might hop on their social media, put up their black screens with their words and throw subliminals, repost memes and relationship jokes and things, throw little shots at the person that they with. And some people may be too stubborn to even initiate a conversation or just bring up an issue that's bothering them or that they feel like may be bothering you. And they can go days, sometimes weeks and months without even saying anything. And then that animosity is just building up until someone finally explodes. Now, some people never take responsibility for their wrongdoings and always even like to point the blame. That's a sign of unhealthy communication. Now, if you've ever loved someone or been in love, you will notice that you've put your pride aside a few times in order to communicate healthy, and the person that you with has done the same thing. And when you've been in those situations where you felt like you were loved or you were in love, you would notice that lack of communication can just simply be a result of someone not liking or loving the individual that they're with. Because no matter how reserved, shy, antisocial, or soft-spoken a person is, we know how to communicate when it comes to someone we really like or something that we really enjoy, or just someone that we feel like is worth communicating with. Most people are different individuals around the person that they're dating. So no matter what personality traits you may suffer from or you may lack, when it comes to someone that you feel safe with or someone that you feel like you could continue doing life with or something, you will definitely find a way to communicate healthy with that particular individual. Which brings me to sign number 3. You ignore the red flags. Now, this one probably should have been sign number 1, but sometimes when you're in love or you really want love or you crave love, you're blinded by the small principle issues. Relationships should definitely be ran and based on principles, because how a person handles or responds to or reacts to a small situation can reveal the type of person that they are at the core. It can show you how they move, how they thought process, just what they value, what they don't value, what they think is a big deal, what they think is just something small and it's not that big, but it may be really big to you. Those core values can play a major role in your relationship, and it could determine how you react and respond to this person as well. So it's very important to pay attention to things that may be red flags. That's why I always say, when you address a situation in your relationship, you should see those changes start to take place. If a person cares for you, they will start to change their behaviors when you bring it to their attention that you don't like certain things, or certain things are not right or not ethical, or however you may put it to them. They'll start to make little adjustments, or if they do slip up, they'll be like, oh, dang, I did that, my bad. They'll correct themselves. Now, while it's true that we just can't find this perfect person that has all of the qualities that we expect them to have, and we can't just build this ideal person to be in a relationship with, it's certain things that you should have that you just don't negotiate. And those are like core beliefs, like things that you just cannot change about yourself and you're not willing to change about yourself. So that person should have at least those things in line, because like I said, you are two different individuals coming together. You got to have some core and similar beliefs and feelings towards one another, so that you can progress and move forward in your relationship. And if you do stumble across something or have some little issues, you all are able to come back to the core where you all are connected at, and then agree and find a resolution for any problems that you all have. Otherwise, those red flags, those small red flags, can turn into bigger issues on a macro level, and then it'll turn into things that you didn't even feel like you saw coming, but really you just didn't pay attention to little things that led up to those bigger things happening. Okay, for example, I mentioned coming in a house past a certain hour earlier. That stuff starts with not compromising your standards. Let's say you don't smoke, drink, you don't club a lot, you just go for special occasions or whatnot. If you tell yourself that you don't want a man who smokes, drinks, or club a lot, and you don't settle for those things, and you don't accept anything or anyone who does those particular things, 9 times out of 10, you won't end up with a person that comes in the house past a certain hour. Because past a certain hour, the only thing that's going on is smoking, drinking, clubbing, hanging out. And if they don't do any of those things and they're coming in past a certain hour, the only thing that can be taking place is infidelity or cheating. So, all of those small things, it leads up to the bigger picture. The moment you tell yourself, well, he smokes, but at least he goes outside, and him being here blowing the smoke in my face or making our house smell like weed, and he don't do it too much. Like, he just do it 3 times a day. He used to do it 5 times a day, so he getting a little better, even though he told me he'll never in life stop smoking. Like, at least he ain't doing this as much as he used to, and he has some kind of respect for me when he doing it. At that point, you're settling because you're making excuses for a grown person that's doing something that you said you didn't want to be with. It's a man out there that doesn't smoke, yet you're choosing to be with the man who does the very thing that you said you don't want to be with the man doing that particular thing. It's considered settling. It's all settling, no matter how you look at it. Especially if you don't smoke, drink, or club a lot, or do some of those things yourself, and you have an understanding as to why you don't do those things. If you understand that smoking and things can lead to other habits, certain behaviors, and can alter a person's state of mind, if you understand those things and you're well aware, you're definitely settling, and you know that you're settling. You're just not accepting the fact that, hey, I'm settling in this relationship. Now, as an actress, I know that there are some jobs that require staying out late, being away from home, making appearances, and being in certain settings. But if the person you're with doesn't make you feel comfortable and secure enough, you shouldn't stick around just because you may enjoy some of the perks that comes with the lifestyle that they give or provide. It's still considered settling. It's all settling. There are some careers that I can admit are unhealthy and can cause issues in certain relationships, and the person can have a valid reason for not wanting to be with people who do certain things. While sometimes it's not always insecurities that cause people to not want their partner in certain career fields. Sign number 4, you give people more credit than they actually deserve. In an unhealthy way, you try to start looking at everything on the bright side. This could be a sign of insecurity or a lack of self-love, and it goes hand in hand with tolerating any and everything. It would be my idea of what people call today toxic positivity. It gives off the idea that you don't think you can do any better than the person that you're already with, and the person you have may be filling a void from childhood or an issue that you had with your parents, or they just may be playing on your insecurities and using your insecurities to control you. Sign number 5, last but certainly not least, you aren't genuinely happy. Something other than love is the reason why you're in the relationship with the person you with. Maybe a person in one of you all's family think you're very cute together. You make pretty babies and y'all just a perfect match, and y'all just look so good on the outside looking in, and y'all letting people from the outside give their input in your relationship and keeping y'all together miserable. Or you had a baby together and you don't want your child raised in any broken households, and you don't want another man or another woman around your child. So you're going to at least stay together for 18 years when children are not crazy, they're not dumb, and they can see when their parents aren't really feeling each other. And when y'all finally separate after 18 years of wasting your life, they're going to be like, y'all should have been done that. I don't know why y'all were miserable for so many years anyway. Or it can be something as petty as you're worried about. Some women worry about their body count, and I'm going to stick with this man until I find somebody that I truly like again. So I'm not out here just free and with everybody and everything. So I'm going to just waste my time and be miserable with this one person so I can keep my count at a certain count. And y'all end up in these miserable situations and staying tied to somebody because of what you may think someone else may think about you, or you're trying to please other people, and ultimately you're settling yourself and you're making your life miserable. I want you to understand that someone can give you a life that you dreamt of or that you never imagined yourself having, and you could still be settling in your relationship. You can't let other people convince you that you're being insecure if something doesn't feel right to you just because you're being treated a certain way in a relationship. I'm not saying that you won't have disagreements and arguments in your relationships, But if you don't have a peace of mind, and when you lay down at night or get in the shower, you find yourself crying or unhappy frequently, that may be a sign that you are settling. That includes having to investigate constantly on social media, having to go through phones, having to confront women about your man, having women to confront you about your man, or in some simple cases, just giving your time to someone who's going in a completely different direction than you are. They're not on the same page as you and can't even commit to simply making you his or hers. Of course, there's many more signs, and they definitely vary from relationship to relationship, but these are some major ones that I've noticed. Now, thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and y'all know I'll be back, because I be talking. Peace.